Hey everyone, I'm Jonna Rodriguez with Easter Seals of Greater Houston. I'm with the Bridging Apps program and I'm broadcasting live to answer some of your questions. Today we're going to talk about how to mute and take a break from different pages on Facebook, and also just a couple of tips about how to manage the news right now. There's a lot of stories that are very heavy, so if you're finding yourself just feeling that weight, we'll talk about some tips on how to manage that and find a balance. So to start off with, I'm going to switch my screen here to move over to a Facebook page, which we should see now. For my example, I'm going to use a friend here, a fellow veteran. She's a Marine, Lupita Hernandez, and we can see on her page here, she has shared Pepsi pickle flavor. Now, just for my example, let's say that I've had enough of Lupita sharing about pickle things. That's one of her favorite flavors, and if I decide, you know what, I don't want to unfriend her, she is such an awesome person, she's a great friend, I don't want to unfriend her, but I don't want to hear about the pickles anymore. So if that's the situation, or if news were the situation, how to mute somebody or just take a break from them will work like this. Let's switch over again. Because I'm specifically on her page, you could see across the top it says her name. I've got three little dots right here. This works differently in the news feed. We'll come back to that. So I'll scroll up to the top. We've got the three little dots again. I'm going to give this a tap. And I've got an option on here where it says friends. If I give this a tap, I have an option to unfriend, take a break, unfollow, and edit my friends lists. I'm going to choose the take a break option. And you can see there's several features on here which might help if I'm seeing too much news from one page in particular. So if I tap the see options here, I can choose to just limit where I see this person or this page, and I can choose just to take that break, and I can only see news and items that she's posted if I specifically go to her page. Now, while on this topic here, I'm going to switch up to my search, and I'm going to mention that Lupita is actually an amazing Marine. She's a great person in the veteran community out here in Houston. She made an incredible run that was 200 miles from Houston all the way out to San Antonio. I'm going to add a link about her information in the comments here. Here's just a quick glimpse of her page, Run for Their Lives. Now, if you yourself are a veteran or know a veteran in the greater Houston area who might need some case management, some support, whether it be with financial coaching or personal counseling for the veteran or their family, if you're a family member of a veteran, know that Easter Seals does have services. Again, I will put information about about the services at Easter Seals of Greater Houston, a little bit of information about Run for Their Lives and what Lupita Hernandez, the Marine out here in Houston, what she's done. I'll get a link for her information at the bottom too. And again, she's great aside from the pickle stuff. I'm just kidding. She's a good friend. I'll get that information listed down there. So briefly, that was how to just take a tone down on a specific page if you need to limit how much you're seeing someone on a certain page. I'm going to now move over. Let's get back to this screen. Let's see here. So as I mentioned, the news can be a little heavy right now, a little unbelievable. Here in Houston, we're getting reports that Godzilla dust is here. I wish I was kidding about that, but that's actually what the local news has declared this. Here's our Godzilla dust cloud. And if I feel, this is a great example, if I feel like, I need to take a break from this news. At the bottom left, I've got the little house is blue. I'm on my news feed. While I'm on my feed, I can scroll up and down. The three buttons here to the right of this particular post gives me an option to unfollow ABC 13 Houston here if I wanted to do that, or above that, snooze ABC 13 Houston for 30 days. Now you can do this with any page. If you feel like, well, Uncle Steve is a cool guy and I don't want to unfriend him, but I'm just really having a hard time seeing how much he posts about Godzilla dust, you can choose to snooze a page for 30 days. And now I've been able to do that. There's an undo option as well, but this will kind of help with managing if a page is showing me too much of something. I'm going to bring up another news source Let's switch over once more. I'm bringing up Reddit. That's Reddit. I'll get information about that in the comments as well. I'm on the home page. I'm going to switch over to news. We'll see just what comes up here. Now, if you're scrolling through Reddit as your news source, this brought up an amazing feature where if you shake the phone, it'll bring you to a nice post. For example, this brought up this grandma knitted a rainbow sweater in 2 weeks after her granddaughter came out as bisexual. It is Pride Month, so that is a great post to see. I'm going to switch one more time. And just to demonstrate, I'm on an iPhone here. If I'm scrolling on the news feed of Reddit, if I give this a shake, it gives me a break from the news. And let's see. It's brought up a post where it shows a photo of a cat that went missing a year ago, and they've been found. There's a photo of the cat. One more time, I'm going through the news feed here on Reddit. I'll give the phone a shake. And here's an adorable video of a puppy who's very, very, very happy with his tennis ball there doing a little dance. So if you're using Reddit as a news source, that's one of the cool features about it. If you've just scrolled through and feel like this has gotten really heavy, I'm done with the news. Before you leave that news feed, give the phone a shake and it'll bring you up something really lovely to see, some kind of good news, something to bring your spirits up a little bit and help you find that balance. One more option on how to find that balance if you've just gotten too much from social media or the news is too heavy, explore.org. I'll switch my screen here. This has several live feeds with some really lovely camera footage on there. You can see a lot of them have to do with animals. I'm going to see if I can find my favorite one on here that has jellyfish. Here we go. So this is a live feed where you can just watch the jellyfish swimming in their tank here. If you scroll down, you can see there's a whole lot of options. So explore.org is a really nice break from everything that's going on. Using the mute features is fantastic as well if you're using Facebook. And as I mentioned, Reddit, if you're using that as your news source, if you're scrolling through the news feed, you have that ability to take your phone, shake it, and get a little bit of nice news come up on your screen. So if any of this was helpful for you, if you have other tips and tricks that you're using to balance everything with the news that we're having today, please share, leave us a comment, let us know what works for you and what doesn't. We'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching. See you next time, everyone. Bye.